You're all set.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, we got George and Jennifer. Maybe
Hi, everyone.
there's Jennifer. George, still ready.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. John, wipe that smile off your face.
How was work today for everybody?
Where's that girl live that got that money from the state? I don't know either.
Hi, Al.
Hi. How are you?
I thought it
Good,
was.
how are you?
Oh, and Betty Jo said, no, we better not call her until we know for sure. Good thing we didn't.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday, June 7th, 2021. It is 7 p.m. This special meeting of council for Mayfield Village, Ohio was duly noticed and is being held in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22, specific to recent amendments made in light of the current COVID-19 declared emergency, House Bill 197, amended by House Bill 404. Under the orders of Governor DeWine and the Director of Health of Ohio, pursuant to Ordinance 2020-08, adopted March 16th, 2020, Council is meeting remotely via electronic means. Mayfield Village is conducting these proceedings in compliance with all applicable state laws and regulations. Mrs. Betza, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Jurassic,
Here.
Mr. Marquardt,
Here.
Mr. Myers,
Here.
Mrs. Mills,
Here.
Mr. Murphy,
Here.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Scheid,
Here.
Mayor Bodnar,
Here.
Mr. Lynn,
Here.
Ms. Weber,
Here.
Mr. Cycles,
Here.
Mr. Russell,
Here.
and Mr. Morel.
Here.
Thank you, Mrs. Betza. Please remain seated as I recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, moving on to the open portion of our meeting. The public was encouraged to view this meeting agenda and offer any comments or questions limited only to the agenda items prior to the meeting being read into the record and addressed at the meeting. Comments and questions were accepted until 6 p.m. this evening by sending an email to the Clerk of Council, Mary Betza. Mrs. Betza, have you received any comments?
No, Council President, I have not.
Thank you, Mrs. Betza. Okay, first up is resolution number 2021-19 entitled,
A resolution honoring Mayfield Village Building Commissioner John Morelli upon his retirement.
Motion to approve, please.
Second.
discussion. Well, I know it's been said by many people. I just want to thank John for all of your hard work. Mr. Morelli, you did a fantastic job for Mayfield Village. We appreciate all your hard work and dedication. You'll be missed. Hopefully you get some more call from you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other comments or discussion?
Congratulations, John.
Thanks, Mr. Williams. Pleasure working with you.
Mrs. Betza, may I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Jurek,
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt,
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mrs. Mills,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Scheid.
Yes. Resolution passes. Congratulations again, Mr. Morelli.
Thank you.
Council President, at this time, I'd like to read into the record a resolution honoring Mr. Morelli, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So John, tonight it's with sadness and heavy hearts and also with a lot of gratitude that we say, I don't want to say goodbye, I'll say the term of Wiedersehen, which I guess means until we meet again.
Sure.
But we're sad to see you go. We're so thankful for all of the leadership and all the good things you brought to Mayfield Village over the past 17 years. So as council has approved this resolution, I will read into the record now. Whereas on January 30th, 2004, John Morelli was hired by Mayor Bruce Rinker as the building commissioner for Mayfield Village. And whereas throughout your tenure here, John, you've been instrumental in assisting the mayor, village council, planning and zoning commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, and the Architectural Review Board in their duties regarding zoning, land use, and building issues that affect Mayfield Village, spending numerous evenings at meetings and becoming a friend and a mentor to many new members. Whereas in addition to the everyday tasks of issuing permits, reviewing plans, and performing inspections, John, you spent the past 17 years artfully dealing with a diverse range of people and neighborhood disputes, always with an eye toward resolving disputes through diplomacy rather than escalating tensions. You have truly been a neighborhood ambassador. And whereas, John, you've provided leadership and guidance for many of the improvement projects completed in and by the village, including improvements to the Civic Center, planning, design, and construction of the police station, the community room, and the Park Ledge and Montebello residential developments. And whereas you have distinguished yourself as a dedicated public servant, at all times committed to helping the community, administering building code regulations with a sense of fairness, and building cooperative relationships with residents, local business owners, contractors, and government organizations. And whereas your colleagues know you, John, as a calm, steady coworker and friend who takes pride in your work and is always ready to lend support or help when needed. We will miss your quiet good humor and your kindness. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of Mayfield Village, Ohio, that Building Commissioner John Morelli is hereby recognized and thanked for 17 years of dedication and commitment to Mayfield Village. On behalf of residents, business owners, department heads, and staff, we congratulate you on the occasion of your retirement, and we wish you continued success and many years of health and happiness, spending time with your lovely wife, Meg, your children, and your grandchildren. Congratulations, John. We wish you a very happy retirement.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. It's been a great run. 17 years ago when I met with Bruce Rinker at the 55 Public Square, he unveiled the pathways and the Greenway Trail, and then we were off to the races. And the administration, Mayor Bodnar, council, everybody is so pleasant and easy to work with in that village. It's like it wasn't much of a struggle for me to be able to help people whenever they needed it. It just was my pleasure. And I would like to thank you all again for your generous present that you bestowed on me on Friday. That was pretty cool. So
It was
thank you.
good to see you in person on Friday. And John,
Yeah.
you make it look way easier than it really is.
Well, you can make it hard or you can make it easy.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Mayor Bodnar. Thanks again, Mr. Morelli.
You're welcome.
Next, we have a motion to confirm and approve the appointment of Daniel T. Russell as Building Commissioner for Mayfield Village.
Motion to approve, please.
Second.
Mrs. Betson, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Jurassic,
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt,
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mrs. Mills,
Yes.
Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Shuck.
Yes. Motion carries. And welcome aboard, Mr. Russell.
Thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'd like to reiterate what John said. Just being there a week, everybody has been fantastic. Mayor, everybody down from the mayor, everybody's been so nice, so cooperative, so helping. It's going to be a great fit for me. That's the way I work.
Glad to hear it. So
I
as everyone, go ahead. As everyone knows, Dan comes to us from Medina County, and like our retiring building commissioner, John Morelli, Dan is a very knowledgeable, experienced, diplomatic team player. So Dan, as he mentioned, started last week and got to work with John and get to know the ropes a little bit. And tonight, Dan, I am administering your oath of office. So if you will raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Okay.
I, Daniel T. Russell,
I, Daniel T. Russell,
hereby solemnly swear
hereby solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and statutes
that I will support the Constitution and statutes
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and statutes
the constitutions and statutes
of the state of Ohio,
of the state of Ohio,
and the charter and codified ordinances
the charter and codified ordinances
of Mayfield Village, Ohio,
of Mayfield Village, Ohio,
in my position as building commissioner
in my position as building commissioner
for Mayfield Village,
for Mayfield Village,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
for so long as I hold such position,
so long as I hold such position,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Dan, and welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. I look forward to working with everybody there also.
Thank you, Mayor Bodnar. Thank you, Mr. Russell.
Thank you.
These were the only two items that we had for our special meeting. So I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, please.
Second.
Mrs. Betts, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Jurassic,
Yes.
Mr. Marquardt,
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mrs. Mills,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Shuck.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. It is 7:11 p.m. Welcome to the June 7th Council Caucus meeting for Mayfield Village, Ohio. It is Monday, June 7th, 2021 at 7:11 p.m. This meeting has been duly noticed and will be held in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22, specific to recent amendments made in light of the current COVID-19 declared emergency, House Bill 197, amended by House Bill 404. Under the orders of Governor DeWine and the Director of Health of Ohio, and pursuant to Ordinance 2020-08, adopted March 16, 2020, Council will be meeting remotely via electronic means. No one will be in council chambers or able to access that space during the meeting. The public is invited to view this meeting live and can access the meeting through a link posted on the Mayfield Village website at www.mayfieldvillage.com. Mayfield Village will conduct these proceedings in compliance with all applicable state laws and regulations. First, we have the pending legislation. We have, I believe it's 5 ordinances. The first one is ordinance number 2021-04, entitled an ordinance amending Mayfield Village Codified Ordinance Section 1501.08, unfriendly fires in building. Are there any questions? Ordinance 2021-04 will be on third read for the regular meeting of council on June 21st. Next is ordinance number 2021-05, entitled an ordinance amending Mayfield Village Codified Ordinance Section 1183.10, improvements to parking and loading areas. Are there any questions? Ordinance number 2021-05 will be on third read for the regular meeting of council on June 21st. Next is ordinance number 2021-06, entitled an ordinance amending Mayfield Village Codified Ordinance Section 1501.12, conflict. Are there any questions? Ordinance 2021-06 will be on third read for the regular meeting of council on June 21st. Next is ordinance number 2021-07, entitled an ordinance repealing Mayfield Village Codified Ordinance Section 1383.06, automatic fire detection systems in existing buildings in its entirety. Are there any questions? Ordinance 2021-07 will be on third read for the regular meeting of council on June 21st. And then the last ordinance we have is 2021-08, entitled an ordinance amending Mayfield Village Codified Ordinance Section 1383.03, buildings and occupancies requiring automatic fire suppression systems. Are there any questions on this one? Ordinance 2021-08 will be on third read for the regular meeting of council on June 21st. Next up, we have Mayor Bodnar.
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple of things of note this evening. First of all, we held our Memorial Day services on Sunday, May 30th, and they were very successful. When they say it takes a village, I think maybe they had in mind our services. Special thanks to resident Mary Singer, who has put this event together and done a wonderful job for many, many years. And I know it was more of a challenge this year because of COVID. She had more difficulty securing musicians and participants, but we had a great turnout. It turned out wonderful. Our Council President, Steve Shutt, did a great job as Master of Ceremonies. So thank you, Council President. Our Police Chief Matthias was a great featured speaker. Chief Matthias is a proud veteran of the United States Navy. We had council members, Patsy Mills and Al Myers in attendance. We had Service Department Chair Scott Sipos, Fire Chief Carcio Polo, and our Director of Administration, Diane Wolgemuth, also in attendance. If I missed anybody, I'm very sorry, but it was a wonderful event. We thank everybody who participated and who turned out. Finally, a couple of birthdays. A few weeks ago, our IT guy extraordinaire, Jeff Thomas, the man behind the camera who has helped us glide through our COVID Zoom meetings like a hot knife through butter, celebrated a birthday. So thank you for everything, Jeff. And as our special birthday gift to you, we are going to go back to in-person meetings next month. And finally, our council president, Steve Shutt, is going to be celebrating a birthday next week. So a very happy birthday to you, Steve, and thank you for everything you do. And that wraps up my comments.
Thank you, Mayor Verner. And I also want to wish a happy birthday to you as well. Mayor Bednar's birthday is June 23rd. So she'll be celebrating her birthday later on this month as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next regular meeting of council is on Monday, June 21st at 7 p.m. This meeting will be the last virtual meeting. In-person meetings will recommence on Tuesday, July 6th at 7 p.m. The meeting is on Tuesday due to the holiday, the 4th of July holiday. The regular July meeting of council will be on Monday, July 19th. As in the past, all meetings are open to the public. The meetings will no longer be streamed via Zoom. Next, we have the clerk of council.
Just a reminder again of Community Shred Day, Saturday, June 19th, from 9 to noon in the Civic Center. Any questions, please feel free to call the office. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Betson. Next, we have Mr. Nguyen for the Finance Department.
Yeah, I have several items this evening. The first item is our property, casualty, and liability insurance policies are up for renewal at the end of this month. I spoke with the broker this morning, and they're still waiting for bids in on several of the policies. So I hope to have final numbers for you prior to the council meeting on June 21st. Based upon bids that they've received so far, we're looking at an increase for the coming year of about between 4 to 6%. We're going to be getting funds in the next couple of months under the American Rescue Plan Act, and similar as to the CARES Act, you might have to establish a separate fund on the books to account for those funds. I'm reached out to the state auditor's office to find out if we can use the existing coronavirus fund that we set up last year. And if we can't, then we'll be requesting council to approve the setup of another fund on our books so we can track those funds separately. And then the last item is we have an annual requirement to submit an alternative tax budget to the county by July 15th every year. This will be for our property tax collections for next year, so how those will get allocated amongst our funds. It has, like I said, it has to be approved by July 15th, so we'll either need a special meeting on July 6th to get it approved, or I'll try to get everything done so that we can approve it at the June 21st meeting. That's the end of the report, and I'll take any questions if anybody has any.
Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. Next, we have Ms. Weber for the Law Department.
Hello, so I wanted to give you all an update on, I know at last council meeting, there was a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission in order to approve with conditions a temporary permit in order for Mars to expand their outdoor storage area at their location at 6655 Beta Drive. As you know, one of the conditions that was placed upon this temporary permit was to enter into a development agreement between Mars Electric, the representatives of, and the representative of Montebello subdivision in order to provide for adequate landscaping screening to diminish any type of potential noise that would be caused. Through John Marquardt, our economic development manager, we have had numerous discussions with both Mars Electric and the representative of the Montebello subdivision, as well as the owner of the property that Mars Electric leases from. And we have almost completed and come to an agreement on a final development agreement that will provide for cost sharing and construction of an agreed landscape buffer between the Mars Electric property and the Montebello subdivision. We have one outstanding item that we are nailing down regarding kind of the ongoing maintenance. But outside of that, we are hopeful to have a final development agreement to provide to you in packets for next council meeting to go along with the motion to approve planning and zoning's recommendation. So if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Doesn't look like we have any questions. Thank you, Ms. Weber.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Cypus for the Service Department.
Yes, I'm looking to, thank you, Council President. I'm looking to add a stipend to hold certain certifications within the department. We have 4 certifications. I feel we need amend a half, and one of them being the arborist certification through the International Society of Arboriculture, a playground inspector, the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association, a CPO through the National Aquatics Council, and the Ohio Pesticides License through the Ohio Department of Agriculture. We hold these certifications to ensure safety through inspections with certified personnel who've completed the exams, and also for the operations of day-to-day duties within the service department. So those certifications, the men have to complete schooling and an exam to hold those. We do need to have those to function. The second item is I want to get rid of the 2 foreman's positions and create another layer of a larger footprint with management to have 4 crew leaders to put in place. So that the 2 foremen would go away and we would have 4 crew leaders. And those will be the personnel in the department that show leadership qualities and that are trustworthy, that I could reach out to and handle the situations. You know, usually we have 2 landscape crews in the north end of town. We have 1 in the south end of town, and I have a construction crew that travels around through the city. So that's the other incentive I want to create within the department. Those individuals will be selected by me, and they wouldn't hold those positions permanently. They would have to hold on to them by showing certain qualities and hard work. So those are the 2 items I have. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I have a couple.
Sure.
We already have an arborist, right?
Yes, we do.
Is he certified?
Yes. He's
Yeah.
certified through the International Society of Arboriculture.
So will we have another arborist or it will be the same person?
No, there will only be 1 arborist. So he already holds the arborist certificate. Now, if he would choose to step down or he doesn't want to do that, then another guy can step up and get his certification. I push the guys, to get their certifications regardless. I think it's good if we have more than 1 arborist on site, but only 1 would hold, he'd be the head arborist and hold that certification. Same thing with playground inspector. We currently don't have 1. We need that position filled, to do inspections on the playgrounds, which we should be doing every month. The other one, the certified pool operator. We have 2 men that go down and handle the pool chemicals and the operations of the pool. We do the startup and the tear down of the pool, but to handle the chemicals, we need to have 2 CPOs on staff. And the Ohio Pesticides License, just in order to spray Roundup, we have to have somebody within the department that holds that license as well. So that's why I need to fill these positions. So, and I want to create, the stipend, it's an added responsibility and a liability to hold these licenses. So, that's why I want the stipend put in place.
Would that pesticide application be part of the fertilizer for the ball fields or no?
Fertilizer for the ball fields. So we contracted it out. So this way we don't hold those chemicals on site. And it takes a lot of time to do those applications. So that's being done by the professionals. But just for us to maintain the pass and spray the beds and everything with Roundup, we have to have somebody who's certified.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Scott?
Yes.
Couple questions. As at the details, there's obviously a cost savings with not replacing the two positions. Do we know approximately how much a year that cost savings is when you look at some of these extra certifications versus two full-time salaries? I'm just curious.
Well, the two full-time, I'm sorry, Ron.
No, go ahead, Scott.
So way we came to that number of $2 an hour was the two foremen were $4 an hour more than the regular personnel here. So we just split those up into 4 different positions. So we wouldn't be incurring any more cost if that's correct, Ron.
Yeah, it's really not, the savings is not an additional person. I mean, we physically have the person here. It's just a premium that the individual gets for being foreman that we won't be paying. So the cost of the stipends plus the crew leader, $2 per hour that we want to add, it's pretty much budget neutral. I mean, so.
Question. If it's $2 per person times 4, that's $8 versus $4.
Yep.
I'm adding the numbers.
No, we had two foreman positions.
Right. And you're gonna
Two
have
foremen within the
4
department. So that was $8.
crew leaders, right?
Yeah, so 4 crew leaders at $2 a piece would be $8.
Right.
It'd be in lieu of the two foreman positions.
Yeah, and the hourly rate differential between a Class A service worker and a foreman is more than $4 an hour.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, so, and without having two people at the foreman level, we'll be saving the $4 an hour times 2, offsetting that with the $2 per hour for the crew leaders.
I mean, you're not even taking into account the benefits, right, Ron? That two foremen would also incur.
Well, no, we see those, the benefits are, we still have the benefits because that person is here already.
Yeah, I'm saying we don't have to hire 2 foremen, and we wouldn't have those. We would have more costs if we were to have 2 foremen, I would think.
No, what Scott would, if we were to keep the foreman position, Scott would just take 2 individuals that we currently have and make them foremen. We wouldn't have to hire from the outside. Correct, Scott?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And this position may be held by a gentleman that is not at the top rate. So at some points we may be saving money. It's not always going to be the same people who are crew leaders. You know, if they're on vacation, you know, they wouldn't be getting the crew leader rate. Or if another individual steps up, or if it's a different project, I'll switch it around to the person who's most qualified for that, you know, project at that time. So there will be times that we will be saving money. But we still have the same amount of people within the department. So if we had 2 foremen, if we added 2 foremen to the department, it would just be 2 guys promoted inside the department. And then they have their position, and they can kind of have that position forever. So this way I'm creating incentive within the department. So those who are, like I said, most trustworthy and the hardest workers will get the positions of crew leader. So, and I do rely on people to kind of be my crew leaders. So like I said, it creates a bigger footprint of management within the department, and it creates incentive for the guys to work harder to get to that position because, you know, it's achievable by anybody. So.
Thank you.
Sure.
Scott, are you creating like expectations or job description of crew leaders, and, you know, what's expected of them and how someone can be ripped of the crew leader, or trying to keep things straight and narrow, black and white?
Yes, well, in order to hold that position, it's guys will step up, and naturally, you know, we have leaders, and then we have guys who just want to, you know, work within the department. And that's okay. So these guys that I can rely on that will keep the guys straight, will push the projects, we'll manage them and make sure the work gets done. Those are the people that will be crew leaders. And there's guys currently in the department already that, you know, that will naturally be the crew leaders. So I do have expectations of them. Now, if those expectations aren't met, and they do slack off, then, you know, I'm going to go to the next person that's showing those leadership qualities. So.
Yeah, I would just suggest full communication with, hey, here are your expectations. You know, thinking with the end in mind. It's like, hey, I'm going to, you know, take away your crew leader. Well, you know, why? And, you know, what was the reasoning behind it? So,
absolutely. And they may switch according to the project. So if we have a larger project that we're pouring concrete or something, you know, it may not be, I may just, you know, it starts to slow down within the department where I don't need 2 crews cutting grass in the south end of town. then what I'll do is I'll take those guys and refocus them on a different project. And at that time, we may just have 3 crew leaders. You know, it's all going to be within my needs at that time. So.
Okay, so I guess initially you had said that you were going to have 4 crew leaders and it wasn't going to alternate, but it sounds like you can have 2 crew leaders at a time or 4 crew leaders at a time. Is that true?
I'll have room to have 4 crew leaders. Okay. Currently, with the way we're doing things right now, I could use 4 crew leaders. Okay. But there may be times that changes. So if we have a large project going on where I'm having half of the personnel in the department there, then I don't need to have 4 crew leaders. I may only have 3 crews going on inside the town. Do you understand? So I may not need 4 crew leaders, but currently I have 4 crews out working. So I will use a 4 crew. So it's going to alternate in a way. And this is a way for me to allow it to alternate instead of just having 2 foremen all the time.
And the only thing that fluctuates is their wages working on a specific project as crew leader for that project.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Mr. Sipis? Okay, thank you everyone for the commentary, questions. Thank you, Mr. Sipis, as well. Are there any other matters that come before council? Since there are no other matters, the meeting is adjourned. It is 7:32 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good